Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss book 37 in R.L. Stine's Goosebumps original series, The Headless Ghost. This came out November 95. Second book now that says watch Goosebumps on Fox TV, Fox Kids TV, excuse me, which doesn't exist anymore, but it was a great time. So this is November of 95. So October 95 we had The Haunted Mask 2, and that was the first book that had the logo on it because the Goosebumps TV series premiered in October 95. So it's neat that it's all coming together, like it's one right after each other. I just want to check one little thing. Haunted Mask 2, book 36. The Headless Ghost, yes, book 37. So, this is really neat. It has, where are my characters? Dwayne and Stephanie. They are the best of friends. They go around causing mischief, at night. They sneak out, they scare kids, they wear masks, they stare through windows, they throw rubber spiders on kids, things, right? They're hoodlums. So they're in this town where they are known for this haunted house called Hill House. And Hill House, there's a lot of different versions of Hill House. There's a Netflix show currently of Hill House, Haunting of Hill House. There's a lot of, I think there's like book adaptations. There's a lot of like different Hill House stuff, right? So this is Goosebumps version of Hill House stuff. And so Hill House has this tour like throughout the years. Otto and Edna, they are, two of the caretakers, if you will. They do the tours of the mansion. So it was built by this sea captain for his wife, and he then gets shipped out to sea, and he's lost at sea, and then she's lost beside herself. And then the next family that comes through, the Claw family, I believe, the son Andrew Claw was found the ghost captain ghost in the ghost captain who was haunting the house. And because he saw the ghost ripped his head off, and then he was a headless ghost for 100 years now. So the mansion was built well over 100 years ago. The most recent ghosting was from 100 years ago. So it's got some history, this particular mansion in this town. So Dwayne and Stephanie, did I say Stephanie? Dwayne and Stephanie, there we go. They love going to this house. They love going to the tour all the time. They know the tour by heart, but they're not allowed in certain areas. So one day they're like, you know what, let's go exploring. And then they explore the top levels, and they hear like a party going on. And then they open the door, and there's nobody there, even though they just heard, voices behind the door. So it's a matter of, are there actually ghosts? Is it just a charade to sell tickets for the tour? It's a cute date night. You get scared with your boyfriend or girlfriend, and then, you go make out in the darkness afterwards, right? So what's real, what's not real? What's a ghost, what's not a ghost? So there's this kid that stops the two of them, and he introduces himself as Seth outside of one of the tours one night, and he's like, I've seen a real ghost. If you want me to, sneak in with you, at midnight tomorrow night, I know how to get in. So they agree, and then they follow him, and then Seth locks them in the pantry at the butler's quarters and reveals to be Andrew, the headless ghost, that he's actually just borrowing another kid's head, and he really wants Dwayne's head, and that's why he's trapping them, because he wants to take Dwayne's head. And you're like, bro, what's going on right now? So it's one of those, is the ghost a real ghost, or is the ghost not a real ghost? It's the same trope that we've talked about with the Goosebumps books, which are just so great, that a ghost can be veil-like, it could be gauze-like, just like explained here. Some ghosts are gauze-like, some just disappear, but some are actual tactile. You can actually touch them. So it brings me right to The Ghost Next Door, which is very spooky Goosebumps series, one of my top 5. We got to go through the list of favorites once we're done with this. We'll probably do a top 10. And so the kids find a secret passage inadvertently as a pantry shelf unit moves over. So they go in through this other tunnel. They find this, old, dusty, rusted ladder to try to climb out, but the walls start crumbling away. Find a hidden room with the head of the ghost boy, and then all of a sudden this ghost comes down in this gauze-like manner. Turns out that he's actually Andrew, and that the kid pretending to be Andrew was actually Seth the entire time. So Seth pretending to be Andrew going back to Seth. Very interesting. A flip-flop. So then Andrew takes his actual head back because it was refound now. And then, he goes off into the wilderness. And so Otto who is one of the tour guides, finds the kids now because, of course, they're making a bunch of noise. Parts of the house are falling apart. So he comes and, takes them all out. And it turns out that Seth is actually Otto's nephew and that he's been scaring kids all these time in general. So then we have a time lapse. Stephanie joins the school musical. She's either Dorothy or a Munchkin in The Wizard of Oz. Dwayne is now on the basketball team. Things, right? So then the two of them haven't been to Hill House in quite some time. So they go back to Hill House, go on a tour for old time's sake. Edna and Otto, welcome them with open arms and, the lighted torch as they always do. And then they come out and police officers stop them and the officer's like, what are you doing out there? And they're like, we're just taking the tour. And there's like, there hasn't been tours in like 3 months, that it's been shut down for business. And then they see, the ghostly Edna and Otto, waving them off kind of a thing. So it goes back to were they ghosts the whole time? Did they become ghosts? Who were the real ghosts? Was Seth an actual ghost? Was Seth just a human? Was Seth the actual nephew of Otto? There's so many what ifs, and what's really cool about this is that you don't actually need answers because it's still spooky. It was really great horror. That elevation, the dumbwaiter explanation scenes of the kid getting stuck and the heart being in a bowl still beating, the going from room to room, the being attacked by spiders and cobwebs, I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. The way it was described, it was very vivid and it was very scary. And it was very 12-year-olds in this haunted house by themselves, away from a tour group. They're hearing things, they're seeing things, they're feeling things, they're smelling things. Is it real or is it their mind playing tricks on them? So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting psychological aspect, but it's a very interesting spooky ghost story because the people that you are meeting along the way, are they actual humans or are they actually ghosts? So a lot of what if, a lot of very spooky what ifs. Absolutely loved it. It kept my interest. It was very quick, 113 pages long or something like that. Let me double check that for us. 113 pages long, very, very quick. Love the cover. We had Andrew as his headless ghost. Major headache. That's the little blurb right here as well. But it's very well done. I remember there's a Goosebumps episode of it. I want to watch the TV show again. I have to do that. Yeah, November 1995, book 37 in R.L. Stine's Goosebumps original series, The Headless Ghost. Awesome book. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.